What's up, garden friends? Jeff here at Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? Hope you're good. I am great and trying something new. So today's video is a new format of video I want to start trying to do at least maybe once a week, just quick, casual plant chats. No editing, lots of bloopers, and just fun. Very, very casual. And what I want to talk about today, or what inspired me to do this today, is this Dendrobium. Now this Speciosum, this is a cross from Sunset Valley Orchids. There's its name, all of its credentials right there. And this was in my video, in my Orchid Reflections video, I was poking it with a cotton swab with alcohol on it, getting the mealybugs off of it. If you watch my vlogs, then you know that there has been some extreme temperature things going on here, and I lost a lot of buds on a lot of my plants because it got really, really cold out of nowhere, and hence why I'm now sitting in a plastic bubble filming this video. So that cold came at a cost. I lost a lot of buds. You can see here the spike that was on this guy is really no longer. That's alright. Not going to get tied up in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, just moving forward, thinking about what happened, and improving on it. But there are interesting things that I've observed while this has happened. Coming out of it now and stably into the 70s. Stably? Is stably a word? I don't know. What I was saying is that amongst things like bud blast, there are other characteristics I'm noticing in my plants that I think are probably due from the cool temperatures. Main thing being in the Speciosum, these are the old flowers. Very, very pretty, elegant, white, classic Speciosum flowers. They smell heavenly. To its newest spike that opened, which I think you may notice, looks a little bit different than the other ones. So why would that be? Well, there are a lot of reasons. The main thing I'm noticing here, talk about the differences, is this pink coloration on the back of the flowers. It's really pretty. Now, that's not happening up here on the older flowers, but there is some pink tinge in the stems leading up to the flower buds. Or flowers, they're not buds anymore. Another thing I've noticed is that the flowers on the newer spike are smaller. Not much, but just a little bit, and they're not opened quite as wide as they are on the older spike. In this shot right here, you can see the difference between the two much, much better, even though the front's a little bit out of focus. Sorry about that. But like I was saying, why would there be two different flowers on one plant? There's a lot of different reasons. The main thing I'm thinking is probably the cool temperatures. Cool temperatures, especially with tropical plants, you tend to get smaller flowers. If you grow hibiscus and maybe you keep them outside but bring them in the winter, you may notice in the fall when your temperature starts to drop that they have much smaller flowers on them. Sometimes the color is a little bit more pale too. That's because of those cool temperatures. Much smaller flowers. There's a slight size difference between the two, not much, but I do think that that is probably part of the reason they haven't opened as wide. Or it could be the humidity. The humidity absolutely plummeted when I got all my space heaters going and the air was bone dry. That could be part of it too. Another option, well, nutrition. Perhaps the plant was getting a bountiful amount of something it needed to produce these larger white flowers, and it wasn't getting that before. Or maybe the nutrient's been present the whole time, but it wasn't taking it up because it was too cold. Warmer temperatures, plants are going to take up nutrients more efficiently. And it's not necessarily that, like, something, I don't know, let's just say phosphorus is going to give you a different colored flower. It's more that the nutrients influence the hormones within the plant, and then the hormones have all different things happen. Hormones are very complicated. So maybe that's it. Another thing I've noticed is that these newer flowers do not smell anywhere near as good as the older flowers. And that's not unheard of with orchids. There are plenty of occasions, plenty of orchids where the older flowers will put off more scent than the newer flowers, or vice versa. But typically sometimes the flowers need a little bit of time to age to start wafting out their odor. Maybe it's like a last-ditch effort to attract a pollinator. I don't know. But not as much scent from here as from over here. These aren't that far apart in age, though. So the main difference between them is that when the cold snap happened, these were already opened while these buds were developing. So it's got to be the cold, and the cold could have been all influenced all of those different things like I was talking about, nutrient uptake, the humidity changes and whatnot. And so while I'm certainly not happy about the bud blast and, you know, losing spikes and not having really long, healthy plumes of flowers on these guys, the observation's still pretty interesting and kind of fun to think about. Because I actually think the flowers on this particular spike are much prettier than these. But that's really, you know, it's all in the eye of the beholder. Maybe I just got really used to these, so I'm just enjoying the difference, but I would really enjoy it much more if it was a fully developed spike with lots and lots of flowers on it. Still, pretty cool. It's fun nerding out, looking at these things and thinking about what happened here, what the reasoning would be behind such a drastic difference. And that's why I am reaching out, doing this quick casual plant chat video. Why don't you guys let me know what you think happened here, and let me know if this happened with your orchids and other plants. This isn't, you know, specific to orchids. This happens with most flowering plants. Temperatures and different conditions influence what you get with your flowers. And ultimately, the healthier the plant, the better your flowers are going to be. This was a subpar show this year. But hey, next year it'll be better, because next year I now know what to do by wrapping my grow space in plastic, keeping the heat up, and all that fun stuff. Alright, but that's all. I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Keep talking. It's always fun talking to everybody. I love talking to y'all. The downside to not editing is you guys are going to hear every single stumble and stutter. Oh well, I'm human. Alright, that's enough rambling. As always, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.